welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing CF Montreal 2, Atlanta United FC 2, 4-5 on penalties. Atlanta United FC advances. MLS 2024 Eastern Wildcard match. Atlanta advances to play Miami and probably get their asses kicked by Miami over the next couple of weeks pre the international break in November. They probably will, but Montreal makes it interesting. Very good game. I'd say this was an instant classic for a wild card match. But one of the 3 wild card match years that MLS has had? Well, knockout round, technically, but this one play-in to play number 1. Or 2 in 2020 for one conference. But there you go. Instant classic. Instant classic. Amazing game. Montreal was the better team for most of it, but in the end, they lose on penalties because of one bad penalty, and all the penalty takers that people were worried about on Atlanta scored theirs, and the guy who was a lock-on scorer scored. But we'll talk about it. Goals were scored as follows. 29th minute, Brooks Lennon, balls crossed in. And Brooks Lennon gets a header to it. A diving header for Brooks Lennon into the net past Jonathan Sawah. 0-1. Beautiful header off the cross. A high cross. And Lennon gets a header to it. Diving header somehow, even with it being a high cross. Pops it in. Atlanta leads 0-1. Stian Gregerson right before the half of the first half. Stian Gregerson with a header. Free kick played in by Moranchuk. Gregerson with a header. He was getting pulled by Raheem Edwards. So even if he didn't score it, I don't know. It could have been called a foul if they felt that way. But Gregerson with a header. Another header against Sawah. 0-2. That's the way we go into half. 0-2. And Atlanta could have scored another goal against the run of play. All 3 of those goals were against the run of play. And Lennon could have scored 2. One was a shot that went over the bar, but 3 crosses that almost led to 3 goals for Atlanta. 2 against the run of play, 1 that did go over the bar. But Atlanta was not the better team throughout this game, first half or second half. This whole game, I thought Montreal was the better team overall. They defended pretty well. Sawah made saves that he had to. The forward line got their chances. They put the ball forward, weren't as dangerous in the second half as they were in the first, or they weren't as dangerous in the first half as they were the second half. The second half, Montreal was dangerous. They get their first goal, and it's from an Atlanta mistake. They really kick on, and they get the penalty. They end up pushing. They end up getting the penalty to tie it up. They hold on for 9 more minutes. They go to penalties. Second half, Joseph Martinez in the 63rd minute. Brad Guzan drops the ball. Joseph Martinez jumps right on it. Some craziness in the box. Joseph Martinez slots it home. Beautiful, well, I won't say a beautiful goal, but Joseph Martinez beats his teammate. Guzan is washed up still. I don't know why Cohen's not getting starts. It makes no sense to me. 1-2. Joseph Martinez scores against his former team. What do you think was going to happen? 89th minute, foul. Montreal player gets stomped on the foot. Foot's on the line of the penalty box, the 18-yard box. They go to VAR. They check it. The fouled foot is on the line. It's a penalty for Montreal. Joseph Martinez goes up and smashes it home. He doesn't hop, skip, jump. He doesn't do any of that. He takes the shot, bangs it home past Guzan, and flexes on him to make it 2-2. 89th minute. 9 minutes. 1 regular minute, 8 minutes of stoppage time. Montreal has a couple of chances. Atlanta has 1 or 2, but it stays 2-2 to go to penalties. Full time, 2-2. We go to penalties. Joseph Martinez steps up for Montreal to start the shootout. He bangs one home. Guzan goes the opposite way, bangs it home, 1-0. Dax McCarty pops his home, 1-1. Tom Pierce, the summer signing for Montreal, shoots it short side. Guzan makes a save, punches it away, 1-1 still. Daniel Rios slots his home, 2-1 or 1-2. Atlanta has the lead. Nathan Saliba slots his home. Beautiful penalty by Nathan Saliba, 2-2. Alexei Moranchuk scores his. Beautiful penalty, 2-3. Gabriel Corbo came in for penalties, puts it under the arm of Guzan. It rolls in, 3-3. Derek Williams slots his home 4-3. Jules Anthony Vilsaint puts the penalty home. Beautiful penalty by Vilsaint. 4-4. Saba Lobjanitse for the win. Beats Sawa. Sawa goes the opposite way. Lobjanitse puts it away. 5-4. Atlanta wins the shootout after penalties. 2-2 regular time. 4-5 on penalties. Atlanta will advance to play Miami. And to be honest, they scored 2 against the run of play. They were lucky Montreal didn't score a third. And Brad Guzan made up for the mistake that led Montreal to really wake up in this match and really add that tip of the spear of their attack, which, I mean, it wasn't great, but they definitely looked a lot more dangerous after the first goal. They could have definitely taken the lead outright. They didn't, thanks to the penalty being so late. But the way they were playing, I'm surprised they didn't, frankly. Full-time stats are as follows. 15 shots to 3, 7 shots on goal to 5, 67% possession to 33% possession, 707 passes to 361, 89% pass accuracy to 79% pass accuracy, 7 fouls to 6, 0 offside to 1, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 7 corners to 1. Montreal was the better team tonight. Just because Atlanta scored 2 goals against the run of play and won a penalty shootout, let me be honest, Montreal, I thought overall was the better team tonight. I think this result is painful for Montreal. Not just because they lost on penalties, but they've been better recently. They've won at home, but Caden Clark and Joseph Martinez have been their only outputs of goals over the past couple of games. And that's probably a problem when you realize that in the end, you still need more. Vilsaint didn't produce. Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy didn't produce. Guys like Sanusi didn't produce. Opoku didn't produce. Joseph did. Caden Clark did not tonight. And I think those 2 against the run of play, you could say Atlanta could have scored a third as well, which I do agree they could have, but it went over the bar. Could have been outright for Atlanta too. We have a whole different conversation, but I think Montreal definitely came to play tonight. I definitely think they did what they had to do overall throughout the 90 minutes. It does suck they went down and put themselves behind the 8 ball. They also did that in penalties, but they didn't come back from it like they did in regular time, being behind that 8 ball. But Montreal, I can't say they were horrible. I can't say Atlanta was better. I can't say either of that. I can't come in and say, oh, Atlanta was the better side. No. They've been hot recently. They found results. They know how to win when it's all against them. They do know that. I will agree with that 100%. They do know how to win when it's all against them, especially recently. Sabas came into his own. Moranchuk is great. Jamal Tiare has came into his own. They have really good players. It's not like they don't deserve to win. They have some very good players. Atlanta. They really do. And I think the triumvirate of Saba, Moranchuk, Tiare, with maybe sometimes of some Jean De Silva is great. None of them themselves are Yakamakis or Almada, but all of them together, very good team. Very, very good team. And I think they got very good building blocks to build on, but they're not done yet. They get to play Miami, which they'll probably lose in 2. I wouldn't be too shocked if they got it to penalties at Atlanta, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Won the shootout, went to a game 3, lost in Miami again. It wouldn't shock me too much the way they played this game. They're very, very tough. I will say that much. But it wouldn't shock me, but we'll talk about that on Thursday. We'll talk about that on Thursday a little bit more. But Miami was going to slap either of these teams if they got through on penalties or outright. This game was basically to say who's getting slapped by Miami. I do have a little bit more of a feeling that Portland can bring the fight to LAFC. I'm not so sure about Vancouver. Would I like to see it for selfish club reasons? For my club reasons, I'd love to see it. Would it happen? Realistically, probably not. But Montreal, I thought, were the better side tonight. They just really shot themselves in the foot multiple times. and they didn't have the finishing from both of their really hot guys in form. And also supplemented by Jaquil or Saliba or Vilsant or Opoku or X name, Bryce Duke. They didn't have it supported by them. And that's the problem. They shot themselves in the foot 3 times. The 2 goals against, the 2 headers against, going in the back of the net, shot themselves in the foot, put themselves behind the 8 ball. They come back. Joseph Martinez single-handedly saves them. They go to penalties. Tom Pierce, after Joseph gives them at least a tie to build off of, he shoots them in the foot. They can't come back. Jonathan Sawa can't make a save. The Atlanta players that we were more like, I don't know if they'll make this, make their penalties. Moranchuk's probably closer to Saba, but I'm pretty damn sure. Then the guy who comes up for the win, I'm pretty damn sure he's scoring guy, ends up and scores. There was no twist, no M. Night Shyamalan twist saying, oh, all the guys we were worried about did. The guy who we thought was a lock didn't. No, it wasn't any of that. It wasn't any of that. Atlanta straight through 5 goals, 1 miss by Montreal, and 2 brain-dead headers against, shot themselves in the foot 3 times, and their foot bled out. Mercifully. I don't know about mercifully, but it bled out. I don't know if your foot could bleed out, but I don't want to find out. Either way, I guess Montreal didn't get up on their good foot. They couldn't. They tried to, but they stumbled back down, and well, there you go. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for a live watch along and review of Vancouver Whitecaps FC versus Portland Timbers FC. They're playing in Portland, but Vancouver is still technically the home team. Stupid motocross. With that being said, congratulations, Atlanta. Commiserations, Montreal. We move. Atlanta, best of luck to you against Miami. You're going to need it. I'll see you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you.